full. We commanding the block. Burgundy and gold got the city on lock. Hustling plays, ain't no need to pretend. DC reppin' strong and we fight to the end. Commanders moving, no breaks, no pause. Hands in the dirt, respecting the call. KDot and Amit, dissect the grind. District divider with a city in mind. Join the damn squad, don't miss a bit. And you gotta spread the word, so shit is shit. KDot.
As the docket says, what the hell happened? Welcome to District Divided, DC Sports Podcast, more specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. I'm Amit. That is KDot. And before we begin this quick recap episode of what happened in our 27-18 loss to the Green Bay Packers, if you could please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment as you always do, and KDot.
Keep this one to us. Share next episode.
Seriously, you really don't need to share this one. So without further ado, the way we're going to do this is we're going to begin with what KDot felt, what I felt, the cons because we ended up losing this game, and then the bright side. What are some things to look forward to as we go ahead? Before we get to KDot's thoughts, just want to say, hey, shout out Dietrich Wise, shout out Austin Eckler. Those look like bad injuries. We'll end up seeing what happens, but you get carted off, man, oh man. So just hoping that they're okay, but we'll see on that. Those were two unfortunate casualties over the course of this game. KDot, over to you. It was 27-18 Green Bay. You and I had both predicted wins for the Commanders on the road on a short week. Clearly not what happened. Green Bay dominated the whole way through. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
If we're just starting with what we felt, right? Yes. Like watching the game. Words that come to mind would be frustration, confusion, but mostly frustration. Confusion in the sense of that didn't look like the Commanders out there. At least the Commanders they spent the last year and a half building us up to be. But what it is that definition of the team supposed to be didn't feel like us out there. I got a lot of questions as far as that, as far as who we are. Beyond that, the frustration would be in the outcome of the game. I mean, as we'll break down the negatives and the positives. I mean, the one thing I can spoil right now is I told you guys last episode that we'd find out real quick if that front four was as dominant as I thought it would be coming out of the New York Giants game. I tell you, I found that out. I found out the answer. I think you guys all figured out the answer on that too. So it's like some things that came quick to understanding pretty quickly. Like, okay, this is not going to be the Giants game. So like, this is not going to be that. So there was almost but the only thing I will hold on to as far as the feeling thing is I didn't think we were out of it until the very end. Like I still didn't feel as though we were out of the game, and that's like. It felt as though the refs were on our side. It felt like everybody was on our side to make it happen. And it just, the frustration part then rolls back in. It's like, just why aren't we taking advantage of anything that's bouncing our way?
So once again, 27-18 loss to the Green Bay Packers, and hats off to the Green Bay Packers who look the part right now, right? A lot of the national media has been around them. The defense looks great. Offense looks good enough. Like they are doing their thing right now. My feel, KDot, is I feel like I'm sort of puzzled, right? Where I feel like, and we'll get more into this again in the cons and pros, that the defense held off long enough. And we have this belief in the offense. We have this belief in Jaden. We have this belief in Cliff Kingsbury, and it never got going.
Yeah.
And that is puzzling. That is weird. That is strange. That is antithetical to what we've thought about this team. It's like, oh, it's the offense that drives the bus. Hopefully the defense can match it. Well, the score was 14-3 at halftime with us receiving the kick. Not necessarily great, but they kept us in it. And it just was like, what on earth? Is Green Bay that good? Maybe. Is it week 2? Yes. But like, are they really that good? Is the offense this bad? This is the time to overreact. Just to be clear, enjoy yourselves. We're all fans. We're all figuring it out at the same time. But watching that game, it was frustrating along with puzzling was my feeling, KDot. Just because I believed that Jaden would sort of, the whole idea of the sophomore slump, I get if tomorrow people, or I guess you're listening today on Friday, people are just like, hey, maybe there is a sophomore slump. I would understand that conversation because it didn't look good tonight. It did not. So that's my feel on it.
Yeah, there's not getting around that. I mean, the sophomore slump for either Jaden or Cliff is a real narrative that can grow this particular season. I mean, there was a part of last season people thought maybe the Cliff thing was over, right? So like people are looking for it. I mean, I remind everybody as far as like when I came on here last episode and gloating about JJ McCarthy was what Twitter looked like during the first 3 quarters of that game. If you were on Twitter at any point today, or any point during this game, you heard everyone that ever had any doubts about Jaden Daniels making them extremely well known all the way throughout. And I mean, that's the thing with Twitter. It's always overreacting, right? And I'm a schmedium kind of guy in all but one way. Yeah, I'm ready to show on some people.
So why don't we go ahead and get into the cons of this game? And so the way we're going to do this moving forward, by the way, guys, literally Kate and I decided this like 8 minutes ago, is when we win, pros first, then we'll go to cons. When we lose, cons, then we go to pros.
I don't think you want to stick to that rule. I think this particular game has this feeling this way. I think that there could be just leave it loose.
Cool. No. I love having the audience involved in this decision. You're right. So we're gonna go with cons this time,
right? Subject
to change. You guys can comment in the comment mailbag. Just boost the numbers a little bit. Don't share this episode though. Do like and subscribe. KDot, this game again, 27-18. If I look at the total yardage, I mean, man, oh man, not necessarily a close one. It was over 400 yards for the Green Bay Packers. Just 230 for us. You look at the yards per pass, it's like just under 4 versus 8 for them. Your reaction, what did not go well tonight?
Nothing.
Everything went not well tonight.
There are two specific people that I'm going to call out when we go to the positives. I can tease that. Cool. But up until that point, everybody can get this smoke. Number one, starting at the top. There was one thing that didn't get brought up in the pregame episode. I'm sure you were aware of it. I know I was aware of it. I just didn't want to talk about it because I didn't really think it had a lot to do with anything until I saw the game kind of unfold, which is that whole Matt LaFleur has Dan Quinn's number. Going back for as long as Matt LaFleur has been with the Packers and as long as Dan Quinn has done any sort of coaching, he doesn't beat Matt LaFleur as far as what it is that's happening offensively. And the only reason that didn't get brought up is that I was thinking from a standpoint of like, all right, if we're looking at X's and O's, there's a lot different with this team compared to the other teams. Like, what are you really looking at? But the thing that kind of leaks in just a little bit is going back to what I said in that last segment. This didn't feel like the Commanders that they've told us and built us up to be. Like, I don't know about you, but there were a few times in this game where I'm like, don't we go for it on these situations?
Yep. Yeah,
and it's like, oh, no, we're not doing that this time. we're not doing it this time. And I remember last year there was one of those games where we were kind of being more conservative, and it was sort of like, what the fuck is going on with this? And they came back next week and did everything right. But it felt as though, going back to the Matt LaFleur thing, it felt like everybody was in their head on this one, either overthinking, either being entirely too conservative, because that's something that I thought I saw on offense was, and the all-22 is going to be highly illuminating. Because what was wrong with the offense? Like, I knew that there were certain points where I was looking at Jaden. I saw stuff out there that he wasn't hitting. Then I also saw that there are times that he didn't have any opportunities to do anything because Josh Connolly's out there struggling his ass off because Michael Parsons is in his face.
Like we talked about.
But then another injury that gets added to the list, John Bates, groin injury. John Bates is usually the guy that can put over to kind of help. He ain't there anymore. So it's like, there's a bunch of stuff that starts happening and it kind of snowballs. But like, even without all that stuff, I look at the game plan and I'm like, I didn't see what they were trying to do as far as like throughout the course of the game. Like, we all talked about like what the game plan was going to be as far as what we thought Green Bay was going to do defensively. And I think Green Bay, for the most part, did exactly what it is we thought they were going to do defensively, right? The only thing that I'll give them credit for as far as trying, at least, was Austin Eckler up the middle. But very quickly, it was known that's not working. It's just not working. So are we pivoting to the other thing? Are we going to do other things to try to get this figured out? Like, I don't know if the all-22 is going to show me that, hey, the receivers just couldn't get open. Green Bay just blanketed coverage. Green Bay's defense is just that good. But I know I saw some opportunities out there that weren't necessarily taken. I know that I saw Jaden Daniels holding on to the football entirely too long at certain points in this game. And I don't know what it's like because I don't have a big enough picture to really look at what it was. But the game plan as far as, like, what happened to the horizontal game? What happened to, like, I saw Jalen Lane in motion a few times. I saw Debo in motion. It felt like it was, like, equal between the two of them. And, I mean, you saw what happened In that second half, when you get Debo actually working and cooking, right? So it's like, what was the plan? Like, what were you trying to do against this defense? Was there a philosophy going into this game?
Yeah, I got a lot of the same questions. I will talk about it, of course. Defensively, I want to say that, like, hey, yes, 27 points. And there were certainly moments where it was not good enough. Marshawn Lattimore got called for a hold. Like, he is a very aggressive defender. And kid, I know your implicit thoughts on him. You haven't explicitly said anything, but it wasn't good. But overall, the defense wasn't my problem tonight. It was the supporting cast that is Jaden Daniels and this offense that just never got going. There was no support. There was no complementary football. I look at the rushing. What was the plan? KDot asked. Bill, 4 carries, 17 yards. All right.
Good.
Austin Eckler, 8 carries, 17 yards. That's it. That's it for the running backs. Then it's Jaden, 7 carries, 17 yards. And a lot of those were panicky. Oh my goodness. I just need to get out of there. So what happened in the horizontal game? Could Debo not get a carry? Could Jalen not get a carry? Then we get to what KDot was talking about there. What was the plan? I would have assumed, and this is why I said pregame, and this is by no means any sort of like, oh, victory. Like, no. But I do think someone like Chris Rodriguez would have been very useful in this game. Again, I have no problem with not activating him, but it was more the idea of like, let's go north-south a little bit to soften this up. I never saw that. So all of a sudden I see all these Packers, linemen, free shots. Go ahead. Do what you want to do. I was not particularly impressed with the offensive line. We knew Connerly was going to be a potential liability. We did him no favors. So whether this was baptism by fire, by design, which I highly doubt, or we just chose not to help the kid out, I think it was a bad plan. So cons, first and foremost, Cliff Kingsbury. Then Jaden, because I really, same thing as you, KDot, maybe the All-22 shows everyone was locked up. And if that's the case, I take it back. All right, we got a separation issue, which we've talked about during training camp. I don't think that's going to be the case. And so given that, Jaden's the next one. I don't think it's going to continue. But I do think, are you off to a bit of a slow start? Yeah, I'm wearing the jersey. Like, I love the guy. Everyone knows I love the guy. But I'll also call a spade. If people were open, if he was suddenly getting happy feet, which is something I criticize other QBs for in that 2024 draft class for, it looked a lot like LSU versus Florida State, which was the very first game he played entering his Heisman Trophy season. A lot of balls on the dirt, which very much meant, hey, this pass rush is getting to you. And that Florida State defense was really, really good. And this Green Bay Packers defense, maybe, just maybe, it's only 2 weeks, but maybe, just maybe, they are that good. We'll find out. But until then, it's a con. Cliff, not good enough. Jaden, not good enough. It just wasn't. So I veer way more towards that. Matt Gay, he missed a couple kicks. You got to make at least one of them. The 58-yarder, I don't fault you. I thought that was a horrible decision. We can get to that another time. But KDot, back to you. That's enough for me for right now.
Yeah, man. The Jaden piece of it, I know that I said that week 1 showed me a lot of things that were my issues with Jaden in college that I saw in the All-22. And I'd say that I saw a continuation of that this week. What is the reason of that? I don't know yet. And maybe it'll be illuminated to me on the All-22. There were moments in the game where I was concerned that maybe he wasn't healthy. Because, like, the smile wasn't there on the sidelines the way it typically is. Like, there were certain things or certain cues that I was sort of like, what's happening? There also seemed as though I think that there was a little bit of happy feet, but I think very specifically, Michael Parsons was in that man's head, big time. And there were moments, like I said in the pregame, that I wanted to see them move the pocket away from wherever Micah was, or at least try to move some motion or anything over where it is. It felt as though what it was is they lined up, snapped the ball. Jaden's like, where's Micah at? Oh my God, I don't see him, which means he might be breathing down my neck. I gotta go. Like, It just felt as though the dude was he was seeing Michael Parsons' ghosts like all over the damn field at different points in time. And that was like, all right, I don't know what's going on. There was a difference even from last week. There were moments where the best that he looked last week was on the move, looking down the field to throw the football. I didn't see him looking down the field when he was moving the football. It was none of that, right? It was, I'm running for survival, and I don't know what they were doing as far as a QB spy. We do know that this defense is a lot faster than most defenses. They're extremely young. They're extremely fast. Maybe it was just the speed that was enough. But I'll tell you right now, there is not a team that we play that isn't going over all of the defensive tape that Green Bay just put up, because they neutralized Jaden Daniels to a good portion of that game. And I don't know if that's more on Jaden or more on Green Bay, because I don't want to take anything away from Green Bay, because they do look, as I said last week, there was only one, if you're going through the league and look at a team that looked almost unstoppable or a juggernaut at certain points, it was Green Bay. And the fact that we were still in this game for as long as it is a testament to what the defense is doing to a certain degree, but offensively, Jesus Christ.
And so I will say this, like watching the Packers versus Lions game, right? You see essentially Glasgow moves from guard to center, but like essentially 3 new interior linemen for the Packers. And you go, oh, okay, well, cool. Like Coleman moves to guard. Like that should be a good thing because he was projected to be a better pro at guard. Did not have a good game. Exactly. Biotish, Allegretti. Okay. It's at least a bit of continuity, right? But it didn't look like it. It certainly didn't look like it. And again, Connerly left on the island. Like, I don't really fault the kid that much just because he is a first-round rookie. We know one of his issues is power, and we know the guy that's going to be lined up, opposite him is known for his power, right? Again, he was bullying Penei Sewell. What's he going to do against Josh Connerly? So when I see the Green Bay defense, and I'll give them credit right now, they made the Lions look really bad. They made us look really, really bad. And so that's 2 straight games for them in quick succession. Maybe that was a good thing for them. But like, if you're being like really optimistic about this whole thing, but let's just call it what it is, they dominated. And it looked a lot like Philly last season for us, where they could just rush 4, drop 7 into coverage. And it's like, Jaden, you got to make something happen. And this time he didn't. It just did not look good. So that's, once again, just sort of hammering the point on the con, and just shout out Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator for the Packers, who knows how to use his pieces clearly. Oh, yeah. He's been great so far through 2 weeks. And I mean, I'm looking at it, 24 of 42 for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, sure, but one of them's in garbage time, 4 sacks, 85.4 rating, an average of 4.8 is gross.
What was his rating?
85.4. And it got saved by the touchdown.
Yeah.
So.
That was the thing. It's like, I was looking at, like, I was trying to comp this at all to anything that happened last year. And I remember week 2 last year was a bit of a nothing, but I know Jaden didn't have a touchdown. He didn't throw for a touchdown in that game, but his numbers overall look pretty damn good. And it was one of those, a lot of like check down stuff. I don't think it was happening last year, and that's what it looked like was going to happen in this game. And I mean, early on in the game, you saw at least the check downs to Austin Eckler or whatever. They weren't generating a lot, but they were at least positivity. And it almost felt as though at certain points in that game, either Cliff was like, yeah, I'm not going to give you those options anymore, or Jaden's like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't know what that was. I don't know. I'm truly, truly curious to see what it is the tape illuminates on that, because I just think the tape is either going to have us like, all right, Green Bay's just that good. But what I actually think is going to happen after watching the tape is like, we just had a particularly bad game, and all I want to know is that, like, the only concern I have is how unlike us that seemed. Like, from a just philosophy standpoint, it felt very, lack of better terminology, cowardly. It felt like we lacked confidence. It didn't feel as though what had happened. Like, I was thinking when I was watching the game, was the last time I felt like this? And it's been a while. It's been a while since I felt like this. Last year was a lot of like the rookie shit. It was a lot of the okay, we don't even know what we have. We're playing with house money. Even when Philadelphia's whooping our ass in the NFC Championship, I'm like, I'm happy to be here. So, like, I just don't like that it's them. this game just felt like, hey, you spent a year building a culture and an identity of who it is that we were supposed to be. And it felt as though everyone kind of turned their back on that a little bit today. I put that on Dan Quinn, who I think at this point there might be some fear of Matt LaFleur that kind of carried through him throughout the rest of the team. It felt like if somebody were to tell me that was the case, I'd believe it. And then the Jaden Cliff piece, I don't know what they were working with. Look, I could shoot him some bail, short week, early season, Green Bay's a juggernaut,
and I won't
do all that stuff. Huh?
No, I was just going to say, and I won't, because these guys were down 2 offensive linemen, and then Jaden Reed gets hurt immediately. You got, it's not literally everything, because, maybe Jordan Love is, a bit banged up, and you don't want that, but, you're down 2 O-linemen if you're Green Bay. You're down Jaden Reed, who's probably your most exciting, trusted receiver, right? And you still go out there with Tucker Kraft.
The tight end.
6 catches, 124 yards, and a touchdown. Totally lost. Bobby Wagner lost him in a moment in zone. Next thing you know, it's a 60-yard busted coverage and multiple 90-yard drives.
We talked about the tight ends. We said that, at the end of the day, we thought, you said Will Harris, his ass got burnt. Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, I don't trust either of them when it comes to some of these more athletic tight ends. And that was something we highlighted in this game. And they got 3 of them that are actually a good job. And luckily, only 2 of them really did any fucking damage. But they got that third guy, John, whatever, Fitzpatrick or whatever his name is.
Sure, but Musgrave being the other one, right?
Yeah, Musgrave and Kraft beat us up. And that was their safety valve that was there every time that they needed it. They had a completion of one of the tight ends.
Before we flip over to the pros, because like you said, there are a couple that you were teasing earlier. That just before
I got one negative that I really got to hammer before you leave.
Well, go ahead, and then I'll talk about mine.
Where are you on Marshawn Lattimore?
Well, okay, so off of tonight, man, not good. Not feeling good about it, but I'm also not quitting on the guy, to be clear, either.
I don't think we can.
Well, okay, no, even if I could, I'm not,
okay.
Is my point, right? So, I do think most corners are confidence players. Suddenly it just vanishes. I do think he can come back. Mm-hmm. But, if I'm being totally honest, I'm concerned. Of course I am. But I also am not, overly concerned. I'm willing to have this conversation, KDot, week 6. I was telling a lot of people that I was watching with. I'm like, if week 6 he's still in this sort of whatever mental headspace he's in and it's not going well, we need to have a serious conversation about the guy. But I'm giving him a little bit of time.
The only reason I bring it up in this particular case is that when we did the All 22 review, remember Marshawn Lattimore's name was brought up and I kind of glossed over.
You skipped him. Yeah.
I didn't like the way he looked in the All 22. Now, it's not something you really want to bring up because of how well the defense played. But I saw some room for opportunity.
So did Green Bay.
So that's what. So my thing was Russell Wilson just couldn't get it, so couldn't complete anything, and the defensive line did that good a job. But in this, I was looking at I don't like the idea that when I look at our secondary, the person I feel the least confident in is the guy that's supposed to be the shutdown corner. And that's where
I get that.
That's where I'm at, and I don't love that feeling. So there's some elements of dude, if there's one thing, if you're going to get beat, but there's the other thing as far as just him being involved in scuffles and stuff last week, or him always just sort of, I know he's a weird cat. I know he's got his own thing. I don't really want to criticize anybody for being different, but damn, son, you were out there and they were yo, go after.
They were picking on him.
Yeah. And it made sense. And how out of position you were as far as and going when they're checking the motions, do we have to run 15 yards behind everybody to get to somewhere? What are we doing? There was just so many moments. It was just dog, you just lost out and just what are you doing? You're not tracking anything. And overall, man, dude, this game, man, this damn game. It's frustrating because this is just not. Because here's the thing, I'm more. You got him in the Super Bowl. I got him 9-8. So
I got him winning,
huh?
Super Bowl. Yeah, I got him winning it.
You got him winning the Super Bowl. I have him 9-8, but my 9-8 doesn't look like what tonight looks like.
No, by the way, my 11-6 included a win today. It was literally just like, hey, you get off to a good start. Green Bay has the Detroit flu. The moment I see them play Detroit, I'm like, okay, there's no Detroit flu. Hopefully we still win anyway. And I do believe that we should have if I had the Jaden I had last year. Right now, given the play calling, again, running 12 times is a joke with your running backs.
It felt like the first time that Eckler got stuffed, they were like, we give up.
And that is Eric Bieniemy. Like, that's what that is. So I was just like, why am I seeing that now? Every single thing was just a drop back, 1st and 10, drop back, 2nd and 9, drop back. Don't worry about it. Like, and that was just so foreign to what I've gotten accustomed to with this team, which is that let's get to 3rd and 5, right? And then from there, we can make something happen. And if we don't, okay, maybe we punt, but if we're close enough, maybe we do something. And that brings me to the end of the first half, which is, let's talk about the head dog, Dan Quinn. It's 4th and 4 at the Green Bay 40. 19 seconds left. We trot Matt Gay out for a 58-yarder. KDot, I'll tell you right now, that would have been my 3rd choice of the 3 possibilities. 1 was go for it. And I'm like, let's do it because this is who we are. 2 is, okay, well, let's go ahead and punt this thing. At least we can ensure it's 14-3, whatever. This is annoying, is what it is. The 3rd, based on everything I've seen with Matt Gay, and obviously the coaching staff has seen him more, maybe he's killing in practice, certainly wasn't in preseason, is kicking that field goal. And when he missed, I was not surprised. And we got lucky that Brandon McManus missed on the other end. It didn't matter ultimately, but I thought that was a very poor coaching decision. So I think, like, man, Cliff's off, Quinn with a bizarre decision based on last year and what we want to be. And then this, I don't know. KDot, you tell me.
I tell you that I don't think they knew what they were doing. So, like, here's the cardinal sin for me. You go into 2-minute warning with 3 timeouts. You go into the half with 3 timeouts. And you gave them an opportunity. If you know you're going to do the field goal, why don't you run the clock a bit? Like, what are you doing? So, like, that to me just felt the discombobulation of these guys are playing scared. This felt like 28-3 Atlanta Dan Quinn, okay? I'm not going to lie. Like, that's what it felt like. It felt as though there was inevitability that was supposed to happen, and everybody was poking Jaden to say, save us. Just save us. Save us.
The play calling suggested it.
This ain't, I'm not doing it to that, guys. I'm sorry. It ain't in the cards to that. And it's just, what? And the thing is, and that's the only, like, at least I know that I still thought we had a shot, and I still was ready to come in here. And I was going to go off the same way that I'm going on right now as far as this team. It was like you snuck out a win. You got to do that sometimes, but this ain't what it is. And look, at the end of the day, this was never a win for me until I saw the defensive line last week and thought that maybe this was the thing. Like, watching the All-22, I was like, dude, these guys, man, they look good. They did this, they're doing that. And then when I see the injury report, when I see the list of inactives, I'm like, oh, wow, we going to eat tonight, baby. And nothing.
Nothing.
What? Nothing. Like, I know you want to give the defense credit, but I look.
I didn't. I just said they skirted by because of the lack of complimentary football.
Fair enough. That's totally fair. Yeah, man, it's just the angle of, like, yeah, the secondary getting burnt to shit. The defensive line, like, generating pressure at certain times. I don't know what the blitz count was compared to not, because there were some times where it was like, all right, that looks good. You're getting pressure on Jordan. Like, that's what happened. But then you also look at the first half, and it was like, your offense, because of that complimentary football piece, like, that all defense had to be gassed at certain points in that game. Like, they were out there forever, it felt like, in the first half. Yeah, man, this is just this. If what playing like a commander is supposed to mean something, I think we were all getting an idea of what it was. That wasn't it tonight.
Was not it tonight at all. So anyway, that's about roughly half an hour on our feeling and the cons.
We could go another 40 minutes. Man.
We easily could, just to be clear. We easily could. But let's go ahead and shift our attention to the pros. Let's touch on that real quick. And we got a comment mailbag right after that. So, KDot, there were a couple names you wanted to mention with the pros. The floor is yours.
Trey Amos. I like you. You're a dog. Jordan Love fucked you up on that run. Beyond that,
Beyond
I appreciate the effort.
I agree.
Appreciate the hell out of effort. Like, here's one thing: we know you got heart. Like, you might get ran over once in a while, but you had heart and you stayed in that thing. And there were moments where it's like, all right, I think they had Jones out there for a second when Amos was a little banged up after that hit on the sideline. But I don't know, man. I feel good when he's out there. I feel more confident about the defense when he's out there. I think we got somebody that knows what he's doing. To me, it showed out on the film last week, and I think it'll also show out on the film this week. And he had the nice breakup, even though that could have been a much better ball from Jordan Love.
Well, that was the inconsistency you and I were both banking on.
Dude, there were moments like even watching the game via like Zoom with a Packers fan, and he was like, yeah, Jordan Love's he's gonna do something stupid at some point. It was like, yeah, and that was the thing. It was like I thought that like, all right, we're right there. You get that pick, we'll be right back in it. But like I like what I saw from Trey Amos. Mike Sanders still more positives than negatives, but still not the best day for him. All right, positives. Right, positives. Deebo Samuel. Yeah, that guy. Look, me and you disagreed as far as like the way he'd be used, right? But what I think we were both on the same page. Well, I was on the page of was that the MVP of this offense, if ran him properly, is going to be Deebo Samuel, and I think that is clearly evident, especially because it doesn't look like Austin Eckler was going to be there to help anymore. So Deebo is the focal point of the team, and I love Terry getting involved today too. That was cool. That was positive, getting more positive flow. And actually Terry doing things outside of just go routes to actually do something positive as far as the team goes. He was very sure-handed. Jaden did not make it easy for him at certain times. That damn that ball that he bobbled there to himself was like behind. Like, damn, son. Like, it was like, Terry, you earned that paycheck with that just there. I mean, like that looked good. Deebo again on special teams. Like, that looked
50-yard return.
Jalen Lane, not really. Luke McCaffrey got a catch, was wide open. I think he's open a lot. Maybe he's in the wrong position, but that looked good. Zach Ertz showing us he can run after a catch. That was nice.
Scored a touchdown.
Yeah, that was. It looked like old Zach.
Okay,
Ertz.
You're struggling through this. All right, so I'm gonna quickly go and agree with
the
you.
Uniforms. Love the burgundy.
Love the burgundy. That's probably the biggest positive of the night. I agree with you. So, like, in terms of the last couple of weeks, so one pro. Hey, if you listen to District Divided, I've said Trey Amos and Deebo a couple times now. They were both good, sort of. So Trey had the 4th down stop, which was awesome. He then gets trucked by Jordan Love. Not so awesome. But for a rookie that is being targeted, as far as I'm concerned with his progression, par for the course minimum, if not ahead of the curve. So I'm totally happy with Trey Amos. It's his second pro game, man. He's at Lambeau, makes the 4th down stop. That gives offense momentum. We go 3 and out. Not his fault. Like, he did what he needed to do in that moment. So
I think he's way ahead.
Which is good news, right? So that's good news. And then Deebo is fitting the offense sort of like we expected he would, right? Like, now in this case, 7 catches, 44 yards, a touchdown is a good stat line overall. You expect more and give him a rushing attempt at one point, right? He scored last week on a rushing attempt. So what's the harm in giving him 1 carry and seeing what that looks like? I don't know. Maybe stretching a bit more vertically. I don't know. But those two in particular, I agree. Also wanted to give sort of a soft shout out to Dorrance Armstrong, who is someone that you had mentioned. He did get a sack. He did force a holding on the rookie right tackle. They ran a stunt with Von Miller. He did get a hit on Jordan Love, 6 tackles, 4 of them solo. So just wanted to give him credit. I know it was difficult for the defensive line as a whole, but just shout out Dorrance, who did stand out a little bit amongst a larger defensive line that really didn't today. But I think he did enough to be able to say, hey, at least I did a little something here. So I just wanted to shout out Dorrance Armstrong there. But those are my 3 names. So echoing 2 of KDots and Trey Amos and Deebo, and then a softer shout out for Dorrance Armstrong as well. Get out your reaction.
Dorrance has been playing pretty strong. Like that was I've liked what Dorrance Armstrong has brought to the table, but going from the last week to this week, no Kinlaw, no Payne, nothing memorable. I thought one opportunity where they allowed like Bobby and Luvu to really eat. I think there was like 2 plays. There was one stuff near the line of scrimmage on the left side of the field. Then there was the Luvu for the blitz that was coming through, and he had the free shot. But it was like, yeah, man, the defensive line was just disappointing. But like positive. Oh, Trey Amos, 1 reception allowed on 4 targets, 14 yards. I'm telling you, I like dude. And I will say, and just to point out, I'm not alone. Ryan Clark's tweet: Trey Amos should never leave the field. Kid is going to be a star. I agree. I think we have something.
Love him. Love it.
I
And
really
the
think
little
we have
seatbelt
something.
celebration as well that he loves doing.
Oh
my gosh. I did it a couple times. I was like, let's go.
It's why I'm dead. Like I am at a point right now where if it wasn't for that contract situation where you got to kind of look at it, I am now looking at what it is that Noah or Jonathan Jones can bring to the defense at this point. Like I'm there. I'm already there.
Okay. Cool.
Because at this point, until somebody actually just picks on Trey Amos and like truly just picks on him, and he flounders, I'll give him a game or 2 to flounder, honestly, at this particular point. I feel really, really high that they made the right choice with that guy.
Yeah. They had a first round grade on him. So they got him at the end of the second round.
I'm saying I love the tape that I'm seeing on him. I really do. He's in good position a lot of times, even though, like I said, Jordan Love kind of bailed him out with that ball. He's still that closing speed that he needed to get in there and bat it down. If it was Lattimore or Mikey to this degree, they'd be. Where is it? The entire fucking time. Like that was all I thought.
Are you saying through 2 weeks?
He's the best corner on our team.
That's all I wanted to know. All right. And with that, we go to the comment mailbag featuring an intro from our very own Nikki.
Comment mailbag time, motherfuckers. District divided, ain't got time for no suckers. Spread the word, get in line. OGs and new G's, it's your time. And spread the gospel, cause this shit is divine. Yeah.
Thank you as always for that intro, Nikki. I honestly don't know how to begin this one. We'll just go with Coach. Shout out, Coach. 24-20 Packers, player of the game, Micah Parsons. KDot, your reaction.
You got the outcome, right? Score. Micah, yeah, man. The stat line's not necessarily going to reflect it unless they start getting into the analytic stuff on defense, then maybe it will. But he was a problem.
He was. Big time. He was a problem. Hats off to Michael Parsons.
I am surprised. Like another thing I said during the last episode was if it were up to me, I think I would start rotating Wiley and Connolly. And I was kind of surprised they didn't do that, especially when they didn't go Wiley inside and they had Paul go inside. I was very curious as to why they didn't at least try that at some point.
I was curious about it, but I mean, it's fresh for those that don't know. Spoiler alert, we're recording right after the game, releasing this Friday morning. I was okay with it. Just from like a longer term perspective of, okay, let Josh go through it, is what it is, and hopefully down the line, better for it.
I think I am usually with you on that if it's not for the fact that it's Micah Parsons attacking your quarterback, Jaden Daniels.
And you had mentioned the confidence with Connerly. You want to make sure that's not shot.
I think Micah can kill that. Like he can kill that.
Good thing we got the mini buy. Coach Lombard's got a couple more here. Dictionary definition, mid. Daniel Jones went off. Be glad he's out of New York. That's one. And here's the other. Former Philadelphia Eagle great. Chip Kelly called one hell of an offense. I can't remember why that was brought up, but maybe it was something that you had said, KDot, in the last episode, but there you go.
Cliff Kingsbury, when we were looking at offensive coordinators before we made the hires, was one of my top candidates to be here.
Yes.
And now he is in Vegas with the Raiders. And I look, Chip Kelly, when he was in Philadelphia, not a fan. Not a fan. For a multitude of reasons. Race, beyond that, I think he's worked on certain aspects of his of maybe some problematic areas that he's had and let go of things from a control standpoint. And I've seen some of the tries that he's made. It's one of the reasons I picked Vegas as far as my side piece things.
Coach also goes, Coleman and Wiley are new to guard, and Green Bay's defensive line is nice. It's something to watch. I got a thumbs up. So real quick, it was not Wiley, it's Allegretti, who is not new to it, but the point remains. Green Bay's defensive line is nice, and they certainly showed it in this game. So I cannot argue that, Coach. KDot, your reaction.
Exactly what you said.
We go to, let's see. Let's go to MF Quotes. Shout out MF Quotes. Let's go, guys. I got the score 28-17 Commanders. This is one of the saddest reads I've ever done, and I apologize for that. I believe the misdirection and fast pace of our offense will be difficult to defend. Then, on the defensive side of the ball, I believe our defense will be great on first and second down, causing long third downs. Also, Jordan Love does not know if he's Brett or Aaron, and Jordan is liable to throw a pick. And I believe Mikey will make a huge pick that impacts the game. KDot, your reaction.
Nope. It just didn't end that way.
The lack of misdirection, though, to Emma Quote's point, is like, why not try it?
Brother, like when I see Deebo Samuel's stat line, the only thing I see is why isn't it more?
Yes.
Why isn't it more? Like why isn't it more? Like I get. Well, I went in the season saying I wanted Deebo on a pitch count, so I get that. I want Austin Eckler on a pitch count. Sorry, buddy. I'm like really sorry, buddy. But there's an aspect of like I don't think Deebo is so crucial to what it is we want to do. It's insane, and the fact that they were like, maybe we'll get around to using him, maybe we won't. Maybe. And that was the other thing is like we talk about stuff like near the line of scrimmage, which is another thing that the All-22 is going to eliminate. Did they have Deebo just running deep routes the entire game? Because that's not what I want. I don't know what the game plan was going into this. I don't understand what it is they were trying to do. Like, what were you guys trying to do? Like, even like the screen stuff and everything. And the other thing that I will say is like, to me, there's a difference between a hurry up offense and a no huddle offense. And we're just a no huddle offense. I don't think we do anything necessarily with urgency. As point in the timeout that had to get burnt because we waited so long to get players in and out, and then they had their opportunity to do so. And we've seen so many timeouts get burnt and this, that, and the other. I don't consider it a hurry up. I just consider it a no huddle. They take their damn time, and it shit's weird to me.
Well, week 3 is going to be very telling against your Las Vegas Raiders. We go to Jamal Bibishar Bonwi. Shout out. This feels like it's a playoff game. JD needs to set the precedent against the Packers and break this 37-year jinx at Lambeau Field. Well, that jinx is pretty powerful, Jamal. I don't know what else to say. KDot, your reaction.
If I'm not mistaken, did I have us losing to the Packers in the playoffs, or was it the Rams? No, it was Eagles.
No, it was Eagles.
It was Eagles.
Yeah. You had us beating the Rams and then losing to the Eagles.
We didn't play the Packers in that one. Look, man, those people that said the Packers could go to the Super Bowl, especially after Mike Parsons got traded there, which I kind of had him on a short list. That shit's looking legit.
Yep. 2 weeks in, but as of right now, hard to argue against it. Man, oh man. Here's Vindo. Attack secondary, definitely over a 300-yard day for JD5. I like making Love beat you. They're going to test Amos and Lattimore on the outside. So if you can generate pressure with the front four, expect a lot of changes for turnovers. We haven't beaten the Packers in Lambeau since the 80s, but the Packers have not started 2-0 since 2020. Congrats, Packers. You're 2-0 again. Terry loves touchdowns in Green Bay. Definitely got him for a big game. KDot, your reaction.
I need to look at what his definition of definitely means. Like, it definitely wasn't what isn't happened. Yeah, man, it's just this confusion level that I have. And then the thing that's going to stick with me beyond this game is that wasn't the Commanders team that I saw play out there, the one that I saw play for the last year. It's not them. Does this carry over? Is this now going to be something, or is this an aberration? Well, I pray and hope this is an aberration.
Okay, I'm doing quick-ish mental math, so this is not a good thing for you people, and I apologize. Okay, but 12 carries for the running backs, 7 for Jaden, 42 pass attempts from Jaden, 4 sacks as well. Those are not pass attempts, right? So 42 plus 4, 46 plus 7, 51 Jaden Daniels plays relative to just 12 running back plays. That, no matter what you think of the guy, that is just way too lopsided in favor of just one player. Like, not even the Ravens don't do that. The Bills, with the best quarterback in the NFL, according to KDot, and so far through week 1, good for him, don't do that. The Bengals do. They don't make the playoffs. So keep that in mind. That's it. So, like, this is not sustainable. And I'd need to see what Cliff does for week 3, because this was ridiculous. From the jump, ridiculous, and he screwed Joe Witt, in my opinion. So that's what I'll say over there. Here's Fringe Photo. Isn't it refreshing to have a team that has a chance and a good chance to win every week? You're damn right it does. Great show once again. 2 thumbs up there. Appreciate it. KDot, your reaction.
No doubt. And we were still in it in this one. But the game plan can't be, hey, guys, the kid's going to save us.
Yeah, totally agree. And I still think, just to be clear, I know we're being a bit negative right now because we're literally fresh off of it. Like, tough loss, frustrating loss, annoying loss. You can point at coaches for the loss, and that's annoying. But we do have a chance every single week because we have a quarterback that can do it. We have a nice supporting cast, but coaching staff obviously needs to help. I do think that things will correct itself over time. I'm not even overly concerned. I'm not concerned, actually, funnily enough. But man, just a tough outing against a team you would hope to do better against.
I'm not concerned at all. 9-8 still looks really good.
9-8 looks fantastic, my friend. 9-8 looks absolutely
Schedule's
fantastic.
hard, guys.
Schedule's hard. I do think the team will be okay. But
I don't think we'll see. We better not see what we saw today.
Well, you know what? You know what? I'm going to do a glass half full thing for a moment, and you're going to think I'm insane. Austin Eckler's hurt. I think Chris Rodriguez is really, really I think the way he plays I'm sorry, I've been drinking a little bit too. I think the way that he plays benefits the offense. Like, he is, once again, a north-south runner. He is better in pass pro than people think. And I think having him as a now needed piece may accidentally end up being a good thing for us.
Too bad he would have gotten 2 to 3 carries. So
well, okay. So that's the thing. So I think the game plan changes because Austin's such a versatile piece. We don't have that anymore.
Look, man, I thought you were going to go a different route because it's the only route that I can like it with a glass half full. John Bates matters.
Oh, big time.
Like, that to me, if I'm looking at any injury on the offense that meant the most, especially to Mr. Josh Connolly, John Bates.
I'm looking up John Bates right now. I want to see if there's any sort of update. Let's see.
That's hurt groin, and he was out.
Questionable. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing concrete as of right now, but we'll see on John Bates. We conclude with Brendan Nichols. Shout out, Brendan. KDot, good news for you, KDot. Is JJ McCarthy a better quarterback than Jaden Daniels now? The question to you.
No. No. Not at all. JJ McCarthy's had one successful quarter of good football.
What a quarter.
He had one successful quarter of football. He had 3 quarters of showing his intangibles off, and then 1 quarter of actually playing good football. That's not a big enough sample size for me, guys. It's just not.
Well, fair enough. That was the Comment Mailbag. This was the show. This was District Divided, a DC sports podcast, more specifically a Washington Commanders podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you made it all the way here, really appreciate it. To this recap episode of the unfortunate loss to the Green Bay Packers midweek, 27-18. Commanders fall to 1-1. Packers move up to 2-0. And if you enjoyed the episode, not the game, the episode, if you could please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment as you always do, and KDot.
Don't share this episode. Just watch it, comment, like it. But we're going to keep this one.
This one's in-house. This is for the fam.
This is one of those anomaly things, right? So, like, the game, like this podcast, is just, we're going to forget all about this one. We're just going to move forward until I do the all 22, in which I'm going to rehash all of this again. So until then, just, you know what? Enjoy a weekend of betting and fantasy football. It's gone. It's out of the way. It's over. Just have a good weekend, guys.
Honestly, do me a favor too. I thought I was holding up pretty well. I know my voice sounds very different. So the guys were like, okay, yeah, you drank a little bit. But then I started stumbling on my words, talking about Chris Rodriguez Jr. And so that was don't share this. Please don't share this. But we will see you guys for the all 22 review and then our preview against the Las Vegas Raiders. So until then, have a good day. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the fantasy football and take it easy. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
In DC, we're just hoping that you listen.